on your flashcards? Have you? Let me see. There's a message on the chat. Very good. We still have the regular lectures today, but today I just wish to tell you because tomorrow, okay, I will be on a medical leave just for a day. So I will be making the recordings. So I'll be making recordings for my two classes. And these two classes, there's a class I have before your class at 8 o'clock, and there's another one that's going to be your class, of course, on Thursday. And Thursday, your class, for my earlier class, it's 8 to 10:05. Okay. So this is optional to you, but I will be making the recordings. So this is the regular hour, but I will be making the recording tonight from. So let me make you understand because I don't want you guys to be confused. And you're welcome to join. I'll be making that recording from 6 p.m. to 8:05 p.m. today. And the recording is going to be available to that class. But you are welcome to join the recording when I'm doing the recording. I'll be doing the recording at office hour link. Okay. And for your class, I'm going to make the recording, which is a regular time would be 10:15 to 12:50 p.m. which is tomorrow's class. I will not be doing that class live lectures, but I'm making the recording for tonight. So tonight's recording is going to be at 8:10 p.m. to 9, I believe should be 45 p.m. Something like that. I should have an hour 35 minutes. Okay, is that yeah, that's an hour 35 minutes. So still the same office hour link. Okay, so I send that information to your inbox and to your Pronto. You're welcome to join both sessions because I would like to have people in when I'm doing the recording, we have some interactions. But if you cannot make it, it's not mandatory. If you cannot make it to join the lecture tonight, you can watch the recording tomorrow. Okay. And or anytime, but as soon as possible because you want to be, you want to keep up with the class. And so this is the information from my side. Okay, this is the information from my side. Okay, and Farouz, okay, RTA, he has some special offer for you. Okay, Farouz, are you here? Farouz. Okay. I will wait for Farouz to make that announcement. So I'm not going to do it for him. He offers to host his Zoom meeting to meet you guys during the lecture time tomorrow on Thursday. Okay, and he will send that information directly to you. So I'm not going to be involved in that part. So when Farouz comes in, I think he's not in yet. Where are you, Farouz? He is not here yet. So he is not here yet. That's okay. So just wait for that information because he has his Zoom link, and I will make it. I will leave that for him to announce. To announce his time. you know, I personally appreciate him doing that. And he doesn't have to do this, you know, he doesn't have to make him available because I have made you know, I have already made these arrangement. But he offers to do that. So if you want to take advantage of it and ask him questions about homework or anything, oh, Farouz is here. Thank you.
Hello, Professor. You're welcome.
Yes, Farouz is going to make his announcement for tomorrow. For you know, for what he will do for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to hand it to Farouz.
Thank you, Professor. So as the professor mentioned, good morning, class first. And then, yes, I will be here in my Zoom meeting ID number 45, 45, 57, 86, 45, and 2 sessions tomorrow, 8 to 10:05 a.m. and 11:15 to 12:50. So if you have any questions so far, whatever we have learned during lecture time and homework, page number 96, page 96, homework questions. I heard that might be a good candidate for the quiz question. So definitely, I suggest you know, take advantage of tomorrow's also this extra session beside the professor is gonna have 2 sessions this evening. So I'm going to be there to benefit from her lecture live. But if you have any question, let me know. Other than that, you can take a snapshot of my board for the Zoom ID number. Also, in the chat, I'm going to copy it before class ends. And in the pronto, I'm going to repeat the same information. Any question for me? If not, I'm going to turn it to Professor.
Okay, thank you so much, Farouz.
You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you.
So this is the you know, before the lecture, that's the arrangement for tomorrow. And obviously we're gonna make recordings for tomorrow's classes. But if you have any confusion, any questions, please feel free to ask me. Okay, so we have we're gonna back to do math. We have done the 6 mathematical principles. Okay, 6 mathematical principles. So we have done some serious work, right? Farouz just mentioned the homework, the homework I've given you, and some of you were asking that how the homework will be collected or stuff. And I'm not collecting homework, but I will be quizzing on your homework, and you will see that on your quiz number 2, that our quizzes are directly connected to the lectures and to your homework. Okay, so we just covered the 6 mathematical principles. Do you guys have any questions? Have you made the flashcards? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I see lots of yeses. Very good. And today we're gonna cover another very important topic, which is going to lay the foundation, which is part of the foundation, is about truth table. Truth table. Okay, so truth table. What is truth table? You're gonna see truth table on page number 2 in the notes. Okay, it's very important that we understand this before we examine and review for our mathematics and better prepare ourselves for the future calculus classes. Okay, so what is truth table? The truth table basically is about making composite statements, how you know, how we make composite statements. When we make composite statements, right, the 2 typical words we use is and or. These are the 2 words we use very often. Okay, we just talk about that there are only two kinds of statements in mathematics, statement or if statement. Okay, statement or if statement. For statement, okay, we have one, suppose we have one statement, we call statement A. And we have another statement, and we call statement B, right? So both statements can be true or false. So statement A can be true or false. Okay, statement B can be true or false. But when we combine these two, okay, when we combine these two, we're going to make more statements, right? We're going to make more statements. And what would that be? What would that be? Okay, so for example, what I want to explain to you is that when we're making these statements, right, the value of the statement of A may be true or false. The value of the statement of B could be true or false. But when we were making new statement, okay, this might be new to you, so please pay attention. Okay, so I'm going to make a new statement. And how do I make the new statement? We're going to make A and B. Okay, so that's a new statement. Okay, another statement we can make is A or B. It's not case sensitive. I can use uppercase or lowercase letter, doesn't matter. Okay, so this will be a new statement, and this will be a new statement. So we're going to have to decide according to the value of A or B, whether A and B is true or A or B is true. I know this may be a little bit difficult for you, but let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Oops, what did I do? I think I have just deleted, didn't I? I just deleted. Sorry about that. So I'm going to put it back in there. Okay, so this is or. So what's interesting is that these two words and or, the meaning is the same as their meanings in any legal ledger. Any legal ledger. So if you read any document, okay, reading the law, reading the rules, these two words are often used. A typical example would be that you suppose that I'm taking the example of a car that's registered under my name and my husband's name. Okay, and you would typically see that our car is registered. Okay, I'm going to put the example right here. Okay, so a car is registered with two names. Okay, my name, my husband's name. Okay, these are the initials. It could be and. Have you guys seen a title? Have you guys seen a title of a car or a property? Have any one of you seen that?
Yes, but not with two names.
Not with two names. Okay, but sometimes you do see two names, right? You may not have seen two names now. Now you've seen it. Okay, I actually have a title. I can show you, but this is but I'm not going to do that. I think you will get it, right? So my name and my husband's name. Okay. Another situation will be my name or his name. because I know you guys understand the difference. What's the difference? If a car is registered under my name versus a car, my name and his name versus my name or his name. Another situation would be a check written to you and another person versus a check is written to you or another person. Have you guys had that experience before? Have you received a refund check from IRS with your name and someone else's name, or with your name and someone else's name? Have you guys seen any situation like that?
A check where it says "and," that means you both have to go and cash it or deposit it.
That's the point. That's a good point, Riley. Okay. Or a check, right? So it could be a car, it could be a check. Okay. So if the check is written to me and my husband, can I deposit that check all by my own signature?
No.
No, right? It will need two signatures, my signature and his signature, right? It is the same argument. It's the same argument. So the and or actually makes such a difference in the legal ledger. Whether it's and or it make a big difference. In the check case, it could be my name. Okay, so let's use the check name. Let's use the check. The check is under my name or his name. Could I deposit the check by myself? One requires both of you to go, and the other requires only one of you to go. Very well said, Marcos. Okay, very well said, Marcos. Okay, that's very, very good. Okay, so you guys understand this, right? So the true-false situation actually is very similar in the making of statements, composite statements. Okay, in the making of a composite statement. Okay, so in the case, okay, in the case of and, both of us need to be there, and in the or case, only one of us need to be there. And in the car situation, right? If I said I'm going to sell the car and he doesn't agree to it, then I cannot sell the car. But in the or situation, if he said he wants to sell the car, I do not agree, then he can still sell the car, right? You guys follow me? Does everybody follow me? All right, are we good? All right, so let's see how many situations out there according to the values of these two statements, okay? And that is the making of a truth table. Okay, so with that in our background, as our understanding, right? So in the end case, okay, I'm gonna make a table. Here, okay, I'm gonna make a table. This table is going to have 5 rows, 3 columns. Okay, we're gonna work with the car case, right? We're gonna work with the car case. Okay, my name, my husband's name. Okay, and it's the title, the title is under my name and his name. If I sell the car, if I say I want to sell the car, he said no, what will happen? Could I sell the car? Could I sell the car?
No.
No, it's a no. Okay, If I say I want to sell the car and he said, yeah, let's sell the car. Could I sell the car? Yes or no? Yeah. If I say, no, I don't want to sell the car. He said, I want to sell the car so bad. Could he sell the car? No, right? If we both say, no, we're not gonna sell the car. We're not gonna sell the car. And it's a no. You guys follow me? So the car can only be sold if both of us says sell the car. Let's look at the or case. Let's look at the or case. Just a change of a single word, what will happen? Okay, I'm gonna bring this down to the bottom. Okay, so just a change of a single word from and to or. All these has to be redone. All these has to be redone, right? He says, well, I said, let's sell the car. He said, no. Could I still sell the car? Yes or no? I can, right? And of course, I say, well, let's sell the car. And he said, yeah, let's sell the car. So we can sell it. And I said, no, I don't want to sell the car. I love the car. And he said, no, I want to sell the car. Can he do it? He's going to make me very unhappy, but he can do it anyway, right? Legally. Now we both said we're not going to sell the car. So under that title, the car will not be sold. Yes? Okay. So when we're making truth table, it's very similar to the situation of cars. Okay, so let's make that truth table. Okay, I want you guys to get involved. Now, for that table, okay, I'm going to make a new table. All right. So statement A, statement B. Let me make it just a little smaller so we can see both situations, okay? So over here, A and B. And the other table we're making is going to be, of course, you know, it's going to be or, right? One is or, and the other one is A. Okay, so I'm going to give you all these different values. Okay, true, false, true, true, false, true, false, false. Okay, I want you to complete that table. I'm sure you can do it. Yes? Are you guys with me? Anybody has any questions? Did I make myself clear? So if one statement is true and the other statement is false, and we put these two statements together, A and B would be what? True or false? False. Very good. You guys got it. If one statement is true and the other statement is true, so A and B as a composite statement, is that going to be true or false?
True.
Perfect. One statement is false, the other statement is true, and A and B is going to be true or false? False. When both statements is true, A and B is what? I'm sorry, when both statements are false, both statements are what? False. You follow me? It's very easy, right? Are you getting there? Now let's look at the or case. Let's look at the or case. One statement is true, the other statement is false, but it's A or B as a statement will be what? True. Wonderful. I'm looking at that. And when both statements are true, A or B is true. When one statement is false, the other statement is true, is true. And when both are false, A or B is false. A or B is false. Okay, so observing this table, okay, in the future, I'm going to give you a quiz about the truth table. So I want you to study this. Very useful, very interesting. So now, according to these two tables, I'm going to make some claims. I'm going to make some claims. Okay, and you're going to tell me, I'm going to make some new statements. Okay, I'm going to make new statement. A and B is true only when both A and B are true. So do you agree with this statement? I'm making a statement. Good, good. Is that true? Because you're going to examine all four cases, right? All four cases. One is the case that's true. There's only one case that A and B can be true, that both of them must be true. Okay, so now I'm going to create another statement. Okay, A and B is false if one of the statement is false. What do you think of that? Very good, very good. Can you create two true statements about the or case? Okay, so I want you to observe that table. Okay, observe the or table. Could you create two statements? This process is called a summarizing. Summarizing. We learn something and we summarize. Okay, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Okay, we are actually practicing using words. We're actually practicing using words. And if you want to, if you want to do a 5, maybe 10 minutes breakout session with Farouz, anybody want to do that? You can. If you want to go to a room to work with Farouz, then raise your hands. I will make a breakout session. Otherwise, we're going to just stay in this room. You can still talk to Farouz. Okay, so Max, you want to have a breakout session. All right, so let me create a breakout session. So I hope I will be a little bit better this time. Breakout rooms, one breakout rooms, let the participant, you guys are gonna have 10 minutes, okay? But I want you to write down the words, okay? Write down the words, okay? Because when you write it down, you have to be very careful about making those words. Did you guys see the message? Okay. Your task is to create two statements. Okay. And I will eventually ask you guys to put your statements on the chat voluntarily. And we are going to decide if those statements are true or false. About the OR table, about the OR table. Or 10 minutes, right? So let's get to 55. So for those of you who stay in the main room, okay, you can work with me. And as you're creating those tables, okay, as you're creating those tables, you write it down and please type it on the chat. And we're going to discuss them. We're going to discuss them.
Wait, Professor, are we
Yes.
making tables or just statements?
We're making statements.
Oh, okay.
We're making statements similar to what I did. These are the
Okay.
examples, okay? You basically summarize on the OR table.
Oh, I mean, I get that, but you said tables, so I thought we were making new ones.
Oh, I'm sorry, we're making statements.
All right, thank you.
Sorry about that. Okay, so these are the examples.
And then you said we type it in on Pronto?
No, you type it in on chat.
Oh, okay.
So this way will be faster. Okay, and then that way I will copy and paste. Very good. Okay, so we have all these. Okay, I copy one. Okay, the first one. So we made two statements. Let's write these words. Very good. And number two. A or B is true. Wonderful. We have 6 more messages. We have 7 more messages. A or B is false. So you guys, please look at the statements. Okay, we're gonna make those judgment calls. A and B, A or B is true when A or B are true. Wonderful. Very good. Okay. I think I'm not gonna continue to do a true copy and paste anymore. We're just going to go over these one by one. Okay, Riley's statement. If A or B is true, if one of the statement is true, wonderful. That's correct. A or B is false only when both are false. That's perfect, Riley. Alexa says A or B is true if one of the statements is true. Perfect, Alexa. Christopher, if A or B will be true if one or both of the statement is true. Very good. That's correct. A or B will be false if both statements are false. Wonderful. You guys have the ability to summarize. That's amazing. A or B is false if one of the statement is false. think again. If one of the statement is false, the other statement could be true, right? Are you guys with me? So this statement, number 4, okay, I'm going to put it here. A or B is false if one of the statements is false. Okay, I assume this is. And I think this is not right. Okay, Alexa, did you get it? Because if only one of the statement is false and the other one could be true. If the other one is true, once you have a statement that's true in the or, A or B would be true. Okay, so that statement is not right. So this is a false. Okay, this is a false. Okay, so let me see. There are 6 more messages. Okay, Marco said, A or B is true when either A or B is true. Wonderful, that's correct. A or B is false when both A and B is false. You would probably say are false, right? Very good, that's correct. Noah, A or B is true when either A or B are true. A or B is false when both are false. Perfect. A and B is false. A and B is false when both A and B are false. A and B is false when both A and B are false. Very good. A and B is true if one of the statement is true. I don't agree. A and B is true if one of the statement is true. Okay, so there's something I don't agree, so I'm going to put it outside. All else are correct. Okay, on that part by Elijah.
Oh, I meant to
Adrian.
type or.
Oh, so you mean this is or?
Yeah. I accidentally
Oh,
typed
you
in.
see, it makes a big difference, isn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Sorry
You
about
see,
that.
no, don't apologize. These are the place we learn our lessons. Okay, so if you change, it is a simple change of a word. You can see how important the use of and or is. Right? It's very, very important, and I'm glad you get that. It's just a change of one single word. Okay, so now let's meet. Adrian said A or B is false if both A or B is false. Very good. Meant A or B. Okay. A and B is true if one of the statements is true.
I meant to put or as well.
Oh, okay. You see, sometimes we're not being careful, right? I think you're not being careful, but you understand it. So not only you need to understand, you have to use the words very carefully. Got it? So when you're gonna make that correction, right? So and let's see Gary. Gary said A or B is true when either A or B is true. That's correct. A or B is false if both A and B is false. I'm not gonna correct your grammar because that's not that important. A or B is true when one of the statement is true, and A or B is false when both are false. That's a wonderful summary. A or B is true if one of the statements are true. A or B are false if both are false. Wonderful. Wonderful. And I think I'm going to close the room. Okay, you guys, please come back. Now, That's right. The purpose of this exercise is to help us to be very careful what word you put down, because it makes a big difference whether you use and, it makes a big difference whether you use or. Okay, so we're training you to be a lawyer. We're training you to be a lawyer. Okay, let's see. Blast. A or B is true if both or only one statement is true. Okay, very good. A or B is false if only both statements are false. Wonderful. That's wonderful. Okay, you guys are great. That's really, really good. Alias, did I go over yours? A or B is true if one of the statements are true, A or B are false if both are false. Alejandra, A or B is true when one of the statement is true, A or B is false when both are false. Perfect. And did I go over everybody's? Okay, Farouz, are you back?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
How about your group?
You can ask them like they can unmute and discuss it like, you know, we went through exactly same process, trying to connect the truth table and as an input output or one of the
Okay.
examples, so on and so forth.
So what I'm asking them to do, I want those people who you went to Farouz's group, I want you to write down, because my group already did it. Okay, I want you to write down that two statement on chat. You don't need to speak it. I want you to write it down. Okay, so please do write down. And examine your word. Okay, examine your word and be careful about which word you're using. You're using and or you're using or. Big difference, big difference. So in the next few minutes, could you guys write it down? Let's see. Hazel, right? I see Hazel's work. A or B is false only when both A and B are false. Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna both. Are you guys reading this with me? Harrison, both must be false to make or statement false. Okay, that's good. And Hazel again, A or B is true. At least one of the statement is true. I like that word. I like that use of word at least. Very good. It only takes A or B to be true for it to be true in the or table. Okay, very good. You guys are really being creative. Very good. Max says only takes A or B to be true to in the or table. It only takes A or B to be true for it to be true in the or table. It only takes A or B to be true. Okay.
As input.
Yeah, some of these sentences can be improved. A and B are true only when both are true. That's correct. Kelly, A or B is true statement if only one is true. Good. And Winston, A or B are true if one is true. Very good. So we conclude that part of exercise. So this piece of exercise is just to really enforce our understanding of these, because we're going to use it. We're going to use it. Okay. If you don't understand the principle, there's no way you can use it properly. Okay. And I also kind of take this, use this example to show you it is important that you choose your words correctly. Okay. You choose your words carefully. Okay. And I would say that if I look back all these years of mathematical training for me, from undergraduate student majoring in mathematics and as a graduate student. And I think one of the lessons I learned is mathematics will train us to use our words very carefully. And sometimes you don't want to use too many words and you want to use the right word. It doesn't have to be too many. It doesn't have to be too many. Okay, so using words concisely, and it makes us a little bit more powerful, I think. Okay. All right, so that's about truth table. Next, I'm going to take you guys to see quiz number 1. Okay, this is so-called quiz number 1. It's on page 3. It's on page 3. Okay, and I want you guys to see this. Well, this is quiz number 1. It's on page 3 for you. So I'm going to bring this to share to you. Let's see, where is it? Is this the one? Okay, this is the one. Okay, so we just did a truth table. On this table, on this quiz, if you can do every question correctly, that's going to be very desirable before you enter a calculus class. Did I create this quiz? Of course not. Of course not. I'm not that creative. I'm not creative. This quiz is actually, I found this quiz in a calculus textbook. This calculus textbook is from the textbook. It's the same textbook that you guys are going to use. That textbook has gone through, I think, at least 8 editions. This calculus author by the name of James Stewart. Let me see, did I record? Okay, I did. This author by the name of James Stewart, I'm going to give you a little story about him. Okay, this mathematician, he has passed away, but he is the most famous. He is actually the most famous textbook author in mathematics, and that makes him very, very wealthy. He is probably the wealthiest mathematicians in the world. If you look up for his name is called James Stewart. He's a Canadian. Okay, he's a Canadian. You guys know that? So if you guys want to Google his name is James Stewart. I'm going to show you his textbook. Calculus. This is the textbook you're going to use. You guys see that? James Stewart. You guys see that? I'm going to type his name on the screen. I have a little story to tell about him. James Stewart. I don't want to misspell his name. Stewart. You guys see that? If you like to Google his name, he's probably one of the wealthiest mathematicians in the world, because most of us are pretty, mediocre in terms of income. Okay, we don't make a lot of money as a math teacher. Okay, but who cares about a math teacher, right? You take your math class and you move on with your life. You never have to. So we are never the popular crowd. But this Mr. James Stewart, he's the wealthiest mathematician in the world. What did he do to become so wealthy? He wrote textbooks, and his textbook has been adopted by all the universities in the United States and all the universities in Canada. I would say, and in many, many countries, they translate his textbook into other languages from the, on the east part of the world or the west part of the world, Europe, Latin America, and so on and so forth. With that background said, okay, he put together a quiz like this. This is quiz number one. What you're looking at, this is quiz number one. Over his career, in the decades of his career, right? He wrote these quiz questions in his textbook. To check if a student is ready for calculus class. So this quiz typically show up before the first chapter opens.
Professor,
Yes.
so we're supposed to take this quiz, right?
Not yet, just a little bit. Okay. We're gonna take this quiz. I want you guys to look through this quiz. Okay, don't be nervous. Okay, I'm not gonna check on you how many you get it correct, how many you don't get it correct. Okay, today I'm
Okay.
only asking you gonna do 7 questions.
Okay. Oh,
And we're gonna
and
take the rest of the semester to go to cover the rest of those quizzes in this. There are total of 25 questions.
okay, are we gonna send it through Pronto or
No. You guys are going to respond on chat. I think that's probably faster. But I want you guys to take out your paper pencil. You're gonna work on the first 7 questions. If any one of you can get all of these questions correct, please report to me.
okay?
And you may be able to you may be ready for calculus class already.
You meant 25 question or 7 question, Professor?
No, 7. You guys are gonna do 7 for me today.
And we are ready for calculus?
No, if you do all 25 correctly, then you're ready for calculus, maybe. But this is the basic. And today in class, we're only gonna do 7. So you guys, I want you guys to work on the 7 questions. Okay, I want you guys to work on the 7 questions. I'm gonna give you only 10 minutes, more than 1 minute. No, I'm gonna give you 7 minutes. Sorry, I'm gonna give you 7 minutes. If you want to go to Farouz's private, if you wanna go to Farouz's breakout room, go for it. Okay, so I'm gonna go.
You want to create the breakout room again, Professor, because that is gone.
Yeah,
Wait, are we supposed to do these tests? Do these
7
equations?
questions, yes.
On our notebooks?
I'm sorry?
On like pen and paper?
On pen
Like
and
yesterday?
paper and pencil.
Oh, okay.
These are 7 statements. Okay, so please read your notes very carefully. Each one is a statement. There are 7 statements.
What?
You are going to decide whether each one is true or false, right? We're just talking about, we're not even talking about composite statement. We're just talking about statements. Each one is a statement. You're going to come back to tell me after 10 minutes. No, after 7 minutes at 12:15. Okay, you can either work with me in the main room, or you go to Farouz's place. And you work on your paper pencil to decide if each statement is correct. Is that clear, everybody? All right, go for it. Your answer will be true, false, true, false. Take your time. You have 4 minutes. Anybody has any questions? Are you're working hard on it, right? You don't need to send me anything today. You just need to work through and we're gonna go over them. We're gonna go over them.
Professor?
Yes,
Yeah, I think I'm done.
you're done?
Yes.
All right, how about everybody else? We have 2 more minutes left.
Done.
I'm done as well.
Wonderful. Okay, so I want you guys to write down your answer. Write down your answer because we're gonna check on it. We're gonna confirm in the case you're right. I'll take your time. You still have 1 minute, 1 more minute, okay? I'm gonna close the other room.
We're gonna go over these, right?
Of course, we're gonna go
Okay.
over them. Only the first 7 though, okay? The rest will take the entire semester to go over.
Yeah. Just first 7.
Yes, okay? So double check your work. Double check your work. Let's see if they're back. Are you guys back? Almost. Okay, we have a group of people out there. Just take your time. All right, welcome back. Is everybody back? Okay, let me check your answers. Okay. Thank you, Farouz. Your people are back,
You're
right?
welcome, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's check your answer. What about the first one? Is the first one true or false?
False.
Okay, some people say false.
It's true.
Some people say true. And we know they cannot be both true and false,
The
right?
first one?
Hmm?
The first one is true.
The first one is true. Okay, so let's see how many truths we have. I'm not gonna bother with that statistic anymore, okay? Oh, we got lots of truths. Okay, wonderful. We have many truths. Okay, we get some false, we get some truth. The second one, is it true or false?
False.
False. The third
False.
one,
True.
Third one, true, yeah.
true.
It's true.
The fourth one,
True.
true.
False.
What?
We get true, false. We have dispute. 5, true, false.
True.
True.
It's
True.
false.
True or
5 is
false,
false.
okay? Is it true, false, or just
It's
one?
true,
True.
I think.
Number 6, is it true, false?
False.
False. Number 7.
True.
True, yeah, it's true.
True. Wow. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's go over the ones that who have been just one answer, right? Are these just a one answer false? So I'm gonna grade your work. Okay. This answer is correct. This answer is correct. And this answer is correct. This answer is correct. Because I'm true, false, right? So the class hasn't decided, and obviously we have some dispute. Okay, so as a matter of fact, this is a false, this is a false, and this is a false.
Mm,
Professor, can we double check number 6? Just checking.
Number 6?
I take it back. Sorry, it is false. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is false. I agree that the false answer is correct.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. 7, some people say 7 is false. So we have some doubt, right? So let's go over these, just go over each one of these. The first one, the true answer is the all-time common mistake. I was just telling you how popular this professor of calculus textbook is, right? He's very, very popular. And he ranked the first one. I don't know if he actually ranked it, but he put it on the very top. So in his mind, he's already passed away. There's no way I can check with him. So in his experience, okay, in his observation, the first one, people think the first one is true. That's the top mistake in the history. This statement is false. Okay, number 1 mistake. This mistake could cost you 10, 20 points in calculus. I'm not exaggerating. Okay. Number 2 is false for obvious reason. You're missing, well, covers some similar materials, right? You're missing 2 PQ, and missing 2 PQ. 2 PQ, right? So that's easy to correct. 3 is correct. 4 is terrible mistake, but it's a very common mistake. And all these mistakes we see, where do we see it most? For that calculus professor, we see these mistakes in calculus class. Okay, so people just lose points left and right. Left and right. Number 5 is another common mistake. Has everybody see what's wrong? You guys see what's wrong? Yes or no?
Yes.
Have you guys seen what's wrong? This is a little messed up, so I'm just gonna clean this up, okay? Number 5. why it is false. What's been done by the student who made this mistake? They just cross out the C. Can you do that? You need a C at a place next to 1 to make that a crossing. You cannot do that. So that's why number 5 is wrong. So for those of you who think 5 is correct, did you get it? I hope you do, okay? Otherwise, come to see me, okay? This is elementary algebra mistake. Number 6, if you think about student make this kind of mistake in calculus class, that's almost unforgivable, right? That means this person did not have basic knowledge about fraction. Did not have basic knowledge about fraction. This mistake should send that student back to elementary algebra. Number 7, however, is correct. Of course, provided we're not going to encounter 0 as a denominator. Why is number 7 correct? This is called reducing complex fractions. Reducing complex fractions. If you think this is wrong, you probably need to review elementary algebra, intermediate algebra a lot.
Or stop by tomorrow in my Zoom session, Professor. Yes.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So that's about these comments. Now, we just talked about this first mistake is number 1 mistake. Number 1 mistake, it costs you very expensively. It's a very expensive mistake because this could permeate throughout your coursework. Okay, it permeates throughout your coursework. Then the question is, what is right? What is right? This is wrong. So first of all, I'm going to explain to you why this is wrong. Okay, so what will be the technique for me to tell you? I'm gonna show you. I need to give you a counter example, don't I? Yeah. I will need to
Yes.
give you a counter example, right?
Yes, yes.
I need to give you a counter example. Okay, so I'm going to bring this to the top. If x is any real number, okay, this is the kind of wording you're often going to see in your calculus class. And we say this statement is false. Okay. It's a very popular mistake. It's a popular mistake across the ages, across the generations, across the countries, across the national borders. This is how serious this mistake is. Okay. And I have one counter example. X equals to -1. If this is true, what does that tell you? This x is replaced by -1, -2, whatever. Okay, there are numerous counter examples. The left-hand side is a +1, the right-hand side is -1. So you're telling the reader +1 is the same as -1. Is that correct? So we say mathematical truth. How do we judge mathematical truth? If it's true, it's always true. False once, false. So this example I give you here is a powerful counterexample to show it is wrong. It is wrong. Now the question is, what is right? If this is wrong, what correction should I make to make it right?
It's plus
That would be true.
minus. Oh yeah.
Okay, related to these topics, we're going to spend some more time on these topics in the future. But right now, you need to, this kind of mistake must be avoided at all costs. But of course, you need to understand it. I will dedicate time for you to understand this. And to check, right? Because it says X can be any real number. Then you'll be thinking X can be positive, can be 0, can be negative, right? Is it true when X is positive? Well, you check some numbers, it's true. Is it true when X is 0? Is it true X is a negative number? All right, so in cases like this, we need to think. We need to put on our thinking cap when we make that judgment call. And this mistake is very, very expensive. It's very, very expensive. It's just sometimes it could be between getting a B or getting an A. All right. So without further ado, and we will cover more about this, which is in the future, which is in the near future, because I want to make this my top priority, that you guys are not going to make this mistake when you are in calculus. You are going to make me so proud. Okay, you're going to make me so proud. And I would also like you to observe, once you're in a calculus class, if you still have classmates who make that mistake. And I promise you, I'm almost certain there will be. Okay, I'm not hoping, I wish I'm proved wrong. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to cover in this, before the end of the class, and of course, we're going to continue this in the recording tomorrow, is that we are going to move to basic 1. Okay, we're going to move to basic 1. Okay, as we cover basic 1, which is a big section. Okay, which is a big section. So I want you guys to get to basic 1. We're going to spend quite a few time here. We're going to spend quite a lot of time here. So we're going to get started today. And here I'm going to start with the introduction. The reintroduction of the definition of function. You guys already have it on the flashcard, right? Yes, you guys already have it on the flashcard. Function. As I was telling you, the entire class has a theme. This theme is function. And I constantly keep on track that I am staying in the theme of function. And from this theme, I want to show you the simplicity. Okay, so now let's revisit the function definition. Okay, revisit the function definition. By doing so, I also demonstrate to you a method of study when you are in calculus. How to study your calculus course. It's a very, very difficult course for people like me. Okay, for people like me. So if you follow the study method I give you, at least you have some kind of a good start. You don't have to follow me exactly. Okay, so this method of study is to focus on what you need to be focusing on, which is the focusing on the definition and the theory. We don't have a lot of theory when we only have 6 principles at this point, but we have several definitions this semester, and we're going to focus on and reflect on. And I hope this process will help your success in calculus, which is a study method, okay, which is related to the method of study. Recalling that my transition from algebra to calculus class was a very difficult one. So this is why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Okay, so let's look at the functional definition. We just talk about a function is a rule. So if you look at this piece of sentence, it says a function is a rule. I'm showing you how to read mathematics. Okay, by doing this, I'm showing you how to read mathematics. You have to read it word for word, understanding every word. Otherwise, you're going to be behind. Okay, that's a hard lesson I have learned myself. Okay, all right. And or makes big difference. So a function is a rule. So a function is a rule. Okay, so I'm going to put a rule in a box. A function is a rule. And it assigns to each element x. So x will be serving as the input. And the rule will apply to x. Okay, and it produces an output. This output has a name called f of x. Okay, so where is this x from? X is in the set of A. So x is from this set of A. Right? You guys follow me? X is from the set of A. That's our input. And it produces an output. Okay, and where is the output belongs to? The output belongs to a set of B. So it belongs to another category. So there are two categories. One category is called A, the other category is called B. So this A set is all the input and the other one is the output. Is that clear, everybody? This is what this sentence is telling us. It also tells us a little bit more because as a function, as a rule, there is a requirement. There's a requirement. Is that to each element, to each input, it produces exactly one output. Exactly one is the key requirement in definition. Okay, in the key requirement of this definition. In other words, it says if you have one input, you cannot, for the same input, you only have exactly one output. What does it mean? What does the word mean, exactly one? Exactly one means it cannot be less than one. It cannot be more than one, right? It cannot be zero. Cannot be that you have no output. That's not okay. So for each element from A as the input set, and there's a output. And how many output for each input? Exactly one. Exactly one. Now, as a rule, we automatically will be thinking, I have a rule. How could I apply the rule to, what are the applications of the rule, right? So you're going to figure, oh, I can apply here, I can apply here, I can apply there. I can apply to 10,000 numbers. Okay, so naturally, by knowing the rule, we will say, I want to gather all the possible input I can apply the rule on. Does that make sense? So that's where the domain comes in. Have you guys heard of domain?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. But now you see how natural that we want to know the domain. Right? Every rule we create, we want to know all the applications. Okay, at least that's the ideal mathematics. For one rule, I want to know all the possible places I can apply this rule. Okay, and that's the concept of domain. And as a consequence, if I apply the rule to all possible input, I will produce a collection of output, right? And I'm going to put all the output together and make something we call a range. So the output is going to be in something called what? Range. And what are these rules? Every function in basic 1 is a rule. So I want you to see that, see from that perspective. And this perspective I cover is also setting the foundation for your future programming classes. Okay, because all the computer science programming languages, they are based on mathematical ideas. Okay, so when you're taking programming class, you understand what I'm talking about here. And those applications in computer science is exactly borrowed from mathematics. In fact, all the mathematicians, all the computer scientists in the 1940s, 1950s, at the beginning, the beginning of computers, computer is invented, right? All of those computer scientists, they were all wonderful mathematicians. Okay, I wish you to see that inside. So all the ideas in computer science, they're borrowed from mathematics. So this requires the mathematics has to be flawless, flawless. Otherwise, the computer will crash, right? And your cell phone will crash, right? We don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen. Okay, so let's look at these rules, okay? In basic 1, I have listed 22, I call basic functions. Most of these functions, I mean, all of these functions are the functions you have seen, right? We're gonna use this perspective, right? From the domain of the perspective. And we have all of these functions in place. How many functions? In basic 1, we have listed 22. There are actually more than that. There's more than that. If you add these 22 functions in any way you want, added 1, added 2, add 3, add itself, multiply, divide, and composite, you're going to generate many more functions and even more functions. So I'm going to show you that. So, okay. And all of these functions are rules, Okay, so if I make a table, right? If I make a table, right? This rule, it could be a function of y equals to constant, the first function. Another function could be a function that says y equals to x. Another function could be y equals to x squared. Another function could be y equals to sine x. And the list go on. And from these functions, we can create even more functions. You guys have learned this, right? F plus G, right? Have you guys learned this? One function plus another, or minus another. One function multiply another, right? And one function divide by another. And what is more, one function composite another. Have you guys seen these symbols before?
Yes.
Yes, you've seen them. Imagine these 22 functions and even more functions you created. And there are more functions out there. You add them, subtract them, divide them, multiply them, composite them. How many more functions can you generate? As many as you want. Endless. Impossible to count. And all of these are called by one word, function. That's something you're going to study in calculus classes. You're going to study all of those functions. That's why some students come back to tell me, the function in calculus classes look weird. they will be looking weird to you. But if you look from this perspective, yeah, they are. You can generate so many functions. In this semester, I will show you some of those weird functions as a head start. Because that's how functions are generated. There's so many of them. You can generate as many as you want. Some of those functions might be used in a computer game program, and that may be a trajectory by your favorite character in your favorite computer games. All right. So without further ado, so let's go over some of these basic functions. We start from simple, right? Now, I'm going to put this just on the side. Okay, it's just a thought. It's just a thought. You think about how much this concept encompass, right? At the beginning, I was telling you this semester is all about function. Function is a theme. Now, do you realize there's so many of them? And we just barely scratched the surface. We barely scratched the surface. Okay. Now, let's start from the first one. The first one is this function. Okay, we're going to study the different aspect of these functions. Okay, so we're going to go down the list, and I want you to understand these functions because all of these functions will show up. I would say 90% of these, 95% of these functions will show up in your next course, and their combinations, their composite, their all kind of things is going to show up. The first one is y equals to c. The simplest one we start. And first of all, what does it mean? What does it mean? Meaning. Okay, when we have y or equal to c, this function, I'm going to use this notation. This is a rule. What does this rule tell us? This rule tells us no matter what is the input, the output is going to be the same, which is c. Okay, this is what this function means. This function means no matter what is the input, the output is always going to be the same number. C is the first letter of constant. Okay, C is the first letter of constant. Okay, I think this has a lot to do with the history of mathematics. Which, because at the time, those mathematicians used English a lot. But in physicists, a lot of people use constant as a K, because those physicists might be using the language, German language a lot. I think that's my guess. Okay, I'm not a linguistic, and I'm not a very well versed in the mathematical history or history of the physics, but that's just my my guess. Okay, people like Newton and all those early mathematicians who invented who started the calculus, and they were English, right? So they use C for a constant. Okay, so C just represent any particular constant. So the meaning of this function is for any input, the output is the same number. So now you tell me what should be the domain. And what is the range? Imagine there's a machine. This machine takes any input, produces one output. What will be the domain? This rule can apply to any number, right? So the domain is all real numbers. And the range, what is the range? In the range, there's only one number because that's all you have. So the range is just a number, a set of numbers with exactly one number in it.
So Professor,
Yes.
as an example,
Yeah.
any
let's do the
number,
example.
any number to the power of 0 equals
Any number to the power of 0 equals to
1. So
equals
That's-
to 1.
that's a good example for this concept you are saying.
I wouldn't
Function-
be introducing
function
power yet. Of course, you can see C. You can see C as multiply x raised to the power 0. Is that what you meant?
Yes, no, as a, you said it as a function machine. So input could be any real number, anything. And then this machine is gonna get that input and use the function machine. It's called, it's gonna say any number, it's gonna raise it to the power of 0. So if you give any input to that machine, it's going to raise it to the power of 0. Therefore, the output is only constant C. In this case,
Right.
the constant C is 1. Is that
Constant
correct?
C is what? Is wrong?
No. Constant C in this case is 1, number 1. Because
That's right. There's one only. So yeah,
Yes.
I can give you some examples, right? So if your input is 0, f of
Not-
0,
yeah, not 0, except 0.
f of
Any-
0 is going to produce an output. That output is going to be C. Okay. If your input is x equals to 1, f of 1 is going to be equals to C as well. Okay. If your input equals to -2, okay, and taking that input, it produces the output of C. That's what it means. And so this list go on forever. That's what it means. Is that
Yes.
clear?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, if we figure out the domain and we figure out the range, and we're going to draw a graph. Well, we're almost out of time. Okay, so let me just give you the idea of the graph. Okay, we know input and we know output. How is the graph made? The graph is made by points. And in the point, it's called ordered pair by input, comma, output. We'll put these 2 points together with 2 numbers together. We take the input and we take the output and we put them together. In this case, it's just a constant. The output is always C, right? So we're gonna have many, many points. Okay, example points, right? Say for example, if the input is 0, the output is C. If the input is 1, the output is C. Whoops. If the input is -2, the output is C. And keep going. And we plot these points in a rectangular system. Guess what we're getting? To be continued tonight. You can come, otherwise you're going to watch the recording for tomorrow.
Wouldn't it be a horizontal line?
Exactly. You are absolutely right. You know this line. You learned this line before. I barely just give you a different perspective. Absolutely. You got it. It is a horizontal line. Okay. I'm going to leave it here. I want you guys to think about it because I want you to reflect this meaning. And of course, this is related to your elementary algebra, but it's a new perspective. Okay, and we see all of these functions as a rule, and we study them, and we combine them, and we're getting you ready for calculus. All right. I will see you guys, if not tonight, it will be on Tuesday. And as Farouk said, and he will be available tomorrow, just look out for his link. I'm sure he's going to send you some link to get in his Zoom.
I send it
personal
on the
Zoom.
chat right now, Professor.
Yeah, thank you, Farouk.
You're welcome.
And
ma'am.
I appreciate it. And if I don't see you guys tonight, I will see you guys. Thank you, Farouk. I will
You're-
see you guys on Tuesday after Labor Day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor.
I hope to see you soon.
Yes, yes.
Thank you for the well wishes for my surgery. And I'm sure I will be okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Professor, I have a quick question.
Yes.
I think I might keep messing this up, but like, does class start officially at 11 or on the syllabus 11:15?
11:15.
Okay,
I'm
Thank you.
sorry about that confusion. My PM, that my typo messed up a lot of people. And I apologize. As the class started at 11:15, at 11, I would still be in my office hour.
all right, thank you.
So please let me know if you miss the class and you need help with anything. And I'm totally terribly sorry.
No, it's all right.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you,
Professor,
guys.
so if we want to
Thank
join
you.
later
you so much.
tonight, then we join at 8:10.
Sure.
Okay,
Join at 8:10. You can join all or part of it.
okay. Thank you.
Hey,
Professor?
Professor. Oh, you can go
Yes.
for it. You go for it.
Oh, I was gonna ask, so we'll see each other again on Tuesday, so there's no support class on Monday for Labor Day?
No, because Labor Day there's no class.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Professor.
Yes,
Two things. Good luck tomorrow on your minor surgery. Hope you feel better.
thank you very
Second-
much. Appreciate it.
Second thing is, so when I'm going on the Canvas and stuff and looking obviously each week on each assignment, so for the two quizzes, quiz 1 and 2, that says September 6th, which is obviously Monday night. So pretty much I won't be able to attend the thing tonight because I have work, but
Mhm.
I'll be able to watch it tomorrow morning. So as soon as we
Yes.
watch it tomorrow morning and get the idea of everything and practice whatever on our notes, then we'd be able to take the quizzes, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah,
The quiz on Monday, I can give it, right? I already gave the quiz.
oh, you already did the quiz. That's great. Yeah.
We had to do it tonight?
No, it's due on the 6th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to do it tonight. Tonight's recording session are optional, but I invite you guys to join. If you cannot join, you can watch the recording, which will be posted on week 1 in the module.
And a follow-up question, Professor, to that. So for the quizzes, obviously, so is it going to be multiple choice? Obviously, if it is, we'd have to obviously do the problem on the notebook, determine whether the answer is right that we're looking for, or is it
Correct.
going to be actual, like, not multiple choice?
This time with multiple choices.
Okay, but obviously we'd have to determine the right answer by doing the work.
Correct, correct. You still have to work on your paper.
Yeah, of course. All
Yes.
right, okay. But the only
Yeah.
thing that would be submitted is the answers, right? So we don't have to like take a picture of the notes or anything, right?
No. It will be automatically graded, and your score will be entered automatically.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, thank you, Professor.
Thank
right.
you, guys.
you on
Very
Tuesday.
good luck. And I appreciate you guys' well wishes. You guys really were very, very kind.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
All right,
Thank
bye,
you.
Professor.
I'll be
Can
okay.
I-
I'll be back on Tuesday.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
You said paper. What paper are we?
Oh,
supposed to
you
do?
need to work out the questions on your paper before you can answer the questions.
From the quizzes?
Yeah, for the
From the
quizzes.
quiz?
Yeah.
From Monday? I didn't do any papers.
I just clicked it.
Oh, on quiz number 1, yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah.
For
Is
quiz
there a
number
quiz
2,
two?
yeah, you need to work on some of the
Oh,
paper.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Quiz number
sorry.
2 is
I
out.
only thought there was one quiz available right now.
2
I'm sorry.
already. Okay, I already sent
Okay.
out the notice, but you still have time. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, you guys. I wish you have a great weekend if I don't see you tonight. And I really, really appreciate you guys caring thoughts. And I'm very touched